There were so many other things to distress her. Forcing her thoughts to one side, Diana said, "It's all so familiar." Carol slowed the car as they came to the driveway of Collinwood, and gave her a worried glance. "You sound very strange. Are you feeling all right?" Diana winced slightly. She knew Carol meant well with her concern for her, but if she could only be less blunt and a little kinder. But that was not her sister's nature. Sighing, she said in a small voice, "I'm all right." "Well, you don't sound it," Carol said suspiciously. Diana became nervous, almost panicky. "It's just returning here again and remembering all those other good times." Carol braked the car to a halt. "You're the sentimental one. I never cared for Collinwood all that much. I always felt angry that Dad didn't send us to some posh summer girls' camp. We were so isolated here." Diana frowned. "Elizabeth was always wonderful to us." "I don't deny that," Carol said, staring at her, "but I'd rather have been somewhere else." Diana was about to ask her sister to make no reference to this when they saw Elizabeth. But before she could get around to saying this, the familiar figure of their relative appeared in the front doorway of the mansion. "Ah, there's Elizabeth now," Diana said with pleased excitement. She had always liked the attractive, dark-haired woman, and she was pleased to see that she had changed little in appearance over the years. "Remember, we can't stay too long," Carol warned her. "We must check in at Dr. Meyer's before it's too late in the afternoon." "I'll remember," Diana promised as they got out of the car. Elizabeth welcomed her with a smile and a kiss. "Goodness, how you've grown," she said. And then she greeted Carol in the same way. "And so have you. You're both lovely young women, and I've been remembering you as lanky-legged, awkward teenagers. Do come inside." Diana went in first. The cool darkness of the reception hall of the old house was something she remembered well, as was the portrait of one of the Cullens' ancestors that hung there in a gold-painted frame. The high ceilings and brooding silence of the ancient mansion had impressed her as a girl. Elizabeth led them into the living room and waved them to places on a divan. A silver tea set and food were waiting on a tray on the table in front of them. Elizabeth sat herself down to preside over the tray. "I wish Marilyn was here to meet you," she said, "but she's away at school in Brunswick. She'll be home for the holidays, and you'll likely see her then." "Oh, I hope so," Diana said. "She must be quite a young lady by this time." Elizabeth smilingly agreed. "She is. And Roger is here, but he's at the plant in the village, and his son David is also away in boarding school. So I'm much alone in this big house these days." Diana managed a forlorn smile. "As I remember the house from our holidays here, it's really immense. It has 40 rooms, hasn't it?" "You're always so peculiar about such things," Carol rebuked her with a scornful glance of her light blue eyes. "Doesn't matter how many rooms. It's a big house." Diana blushed. "Well, I only said it because I remembered someone telling me the number of rooms." Elizabeth at once came to her assistance. "You are right, Diana. The house does have exactly 40 rooms." She smiled. "You both like tea, don't you?" Carol nodded. "Yes. We mustn't stay too long. The doctor is expecting us." Elizabeth was pouring out their tea. "Turnbridge House isn't far from here, so it won't take you long when you leave. In fact, if you ever want to walk here, you can walk down the beach and save a good deal of time. It's much longer by the road." She handed them their cups. "Is Turnbridge House as old as Collinwood?" Diana asked, anxious to make conversation that would pass the time pleasantly. Elizabeth said, "No, but it is at least 70 years old. And, of course, it's a large wooden structure with all kinds of wings and levels, the sort of old house it's easy to lose yourself in. It was empty for several years before Dr. Hugo Meyer came here and bought it for his clinic. I never dreamed Cullensport would become the headquarters for such a noted psychiatric clinic, but it has." She passed them the plates of sandwiches. Carol asked, How do the local people feel about having...
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.